Hello, salutations. What it do? It's Stop the Gamer, all five, the Durag Gang. Know the vibes, like subscribe. Let's get it. Happy Saturday, chat. Welcome to another Super News, where we, of course, go over the biggest stories from the gaming industry from the last week. How's everybody doing today? What's up, chat? What's up, Turn Up Sweat? What's up, Amani the God? How's everybody doing? What's up, Lucky Ray Gun? Give everybody a chance to come in here. Get on in here. We got a fun show. We're going to talk about some of the stories that we went over a little bit earlier in the week, like Gotham Knights. We got updates about the Jedi Fallen Order sequel. It's going to be another fun show. What's up, DJXD? What's up, Juan? What's up, Corey King? Big Red Hood looks boring. Well, I will say you don't want to judge when it comes to, games with combat. You don't want to actually make any judgments until you actually see someone that knows what they're doing, because unfortunately game companies for some reason tend to do gameplay demos with people that don't know actually how to play the game, so you don't see all the advanced combos and everything like that until later on. So definitely keep that in mind. What's up, sir, your boy? How are y'all doing this fine Saturday? Y'all sleeping on Red Hood? Red Hood seems to be pretty popular, so I'm guessing everyone will be playing that a lot. Bro is just pushing buttons, correct? As for Avengers, I might play it later on. So let's get into the first story of the day. This one, probably the biggest story of the week, arguably. And it was another L for our favorite platform on this channel, Xbox. They had to update that Redfall and Starfield, which were supposed to be two massive first-party titles for Xbox. They had a lot of hype, almost cyberpunk level hype for Starfield. And despite Starfield getting a release date of November, both games ended up being delayed. We have this official statement. We've made the decision to delay the launches of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. The teams at Arcane Austin, Redfall, and Bethesda Game Studios Starfield have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best, most polished versions of them. We want to thank everyone for their excitement for Redfall and Starfield. That energy is a huge part of what inspires all of us every day and drives our own excitement for what we are creating. We can't wait to show our first deep dive into the gameplay for both Redfall and Starfield soon. Thank you for your support. Now, Xbox is supposed to have a showcase this summer showing off the games they have on the horizon, but unfortunately, the emphasis is going to be on the horizon because it looks like Xbox is going to go throughout this whole year without having any big first-party releases after these two delays. We still have not heard anything about Fable, but we obviously know if that game is even ready to be revealed, it is probably not coming out until 2023 at the earliest, possibly even 2024. So once again, Xbox, despite the fact that it has been buying up studios with the hopes of competing with PlayStation in their first party exclusives, are still not able to keep up. Not only do we have the Bethesda and the Arcane Studio delays, we also have that news that, of course, Crystal Dynamics, our favorite developers around here, are going to be taking the lead on the Xbox title Perfect Dark, because the studio that Microsoft put together, the initiative to do Perfect Dark, for some reason, everybody's quitting the project. So Crystal Dynamics ended up taking the developers from Marvel's Avengers and moving them over to work on Perfect Dark with the initiative. We also got some news for all you Fortnite players, which I am definitely not one, but I can respect it. Robocop arrived to Fortnite yesterday. I saw Jay Shockblast rocking out with this on stream. For those that are younger, who have no idea who this is, Robocop is a iconic action hero who is essentially a part man, part robot cop who kills bad guys in the name of justice. We have this story from Polygon. Robocop, the part man, part machine super cop protagonist of Paul Verhoeven's 1987 ultra-violent satire of Reagan-era corporate greed, has come to Fortnite. Robocop's arrival in the Battle Royale game also introduces another familiar element of the original film, the total degradation and humiliation of ED-209. That's because you can now ride on the back of a diminutive ED-209 thanks to a new emote. In Fortnite, you can also use his severed leg as an in-game pickaxe, which is pretty neat. I got to see it in action. It actually looked fairly cool. It's called the Leg 209, which can also be equipped as a back bling. Still not enough to get me to play Fortnite again, but you know, I'm still waiting for that Darth Vader and some Jujutsu Kaisen, but we'll see about that. Good afternoon, everyone just coming in. What's up? What's up, Bruno? What's up? What's up, Ariane? We also may be getting an event thanks to Jeff Grubb over on the JB Decides podcast. It looks like Sony might be whipping out a showcase during the first week of June. He can't confirm, but he's hearing from a bunch of different people. It could be just noise, but definitely keep an eye out on the first week of June for some potential Sony goodness, which could be a God of War Ragnarok, maybe finally getting some more God of Ragnarok updates, and probably an announcement that God of War Ragnarok is getting delayed, because I personally think God of War Ragnarok is definitely not coming out this year, but we'll see. Also, Silent Hill fans, you should be happy to know that there are going to be, potentially looks like, another Silent Hill game. A leaker posted on Twitter, and because Konami gave their Twitter account a DMCA strike, that kind of confirms that the leaks were legitimate. So good job there. 4 images from an apparent reboot of Konami's beloved Silent Hill series have been leaked onto the internet and were almost immediately nuked by a copyright strike, more or less, confirming their authenticity. In addition, a former Silent Hill developer bemoaned the lack of professionalism at studios that have multiple people providing materials to a known leaker. So 100% confirms this was legitimate. The latter point is not direct confirmation, of course, but Konami's lawyers have certainly played a blinder, so way to throw people off the scent. The 4 images, which can be seen here, show an extremely messy living room stuffed with paraphernalia, rubbish, and of course, a cot. You see the images right here. The wallpaper is peeling, the windows are wonky, and in short, it looks very much like a Silent Hill location. Another shot shows a close-up of what looks like an equally dilapidated kitchen. The other screens show a red-tinged corridor covered with post-it notes saying nice things like pervert and that B-word, with a figure looming at the end of the corridor whose head appears formed from the post-its. Then there's a woman's face where parts of her skin are missing, with similar scrawled messages visible underneath saying yet more loveliness. Here's the quote from the dev. If a studio has multiple people sending materials to a known leaker, they are not professional enough to do the game justice. The leaker, Aesthetic Gamer, wrote when sharing the images, there is a lot I'm not sharing for now. This is from a relatively new source for me, but I have been given more time than enough proof to believe them. Also, we'll mention the names Anita and Maya, SMS messages, and this is not the only Silent Hill game in development. So if you're a fan of Silent Hill, it looks like you have some nice stuff to look forward to. thanks to this leaker. Now, earlier we of course covered Gotham Knights. After waiting a bit, Gotham Knights rolled out a whole big press day. We got a brand new gameplay demo showing Red Hood and Nightwing. We also got the pre-orders on sale, as well as all the different tiers of pre-orders. You can get the deluxe edition, the collector's edition, all that good stuff. And they also answered some questions we had about the game. And some of those questions, some of those answers, people did not like very much. There's also people who didn't like the gameplay as well. But for those that missed it, last gen support, of course, for Gotham Knights has officially been canceled. So it will not be available on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. If you want to get Gotham Knights, you're going to have a PlayStation 5, a PC, or an Xbox Series S/X. Otherwise, you will not be able to play this game. There is not going to be 4-player co-op. It is still going to be 2 players. The game, despite being on multiple platforms, does not have crossplay at this time, which was also disappointing to a lot of people. There was also concern expressed by players that Gotham Knights, the gameplay that they showed, didn't look like a game that you would expect is exclusively on current gen hardware. I personally noted that I thought the footage we were seeing was from the PlayStation 4 Pro version of the game, potentially because the last time we got extensive footage, it was from the Batgirl demo, which looked amazing. Divine Shine, thank you for the 10. Appreciate that, my friend. Durag Nation in the building, indeed. Thank you very much. So I'm personally hoping that Gotham Knights, since they still have 5 months left, can really polish the game a little bit, because it definitely could use more of it, especially if this is going to be only on PlayStation 5, Series X, and PC. It could be PC. Now, if it was PC gameplay, I think it would have definitely looked a lot crisper than that, unless they were for some reason playing on a pretty low-end PC. So I'm thinking it was possibly old footage. That's the only thing that really makes sense to me. I don't think games get worse in their quality as they develop, especially if they're going on high-end hardware. So I'm just hoping this was just old footage and they just weren't particularly organized there, and we get some better footage later on down the line. But personally, I'm still, looking forward to diving into Gotham Knights, especially since Suicide Squad isn't coming out until next year. So we'll see. But I have a feeling that when we get Gotham Knights, it'll definitely be a lot better. I remember when I saw Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time, the gameplay looked a little sus to me in terms of, the quality, and it turned out to be an amazing game. And I'm expecting the same for Gotham Knights. We also got a Marvel Spider-Man 2 update. It looks like Insomniac's next game is in the mocap process. This is from comicbook.com. Looks like one of the most notable actors involved in Marvel Spider-Man 2 has given us a new update about the status of the game's development. Insomniac Games confirmed last year that the PlayStation 5 sequel to Marvel Spider-Man was officially in the works, but didn't say much about the project outside of revealing a 2023 launch window. And while it may take a bit for us to see more of what the title will have in store, we now seem to know about how work on the game is progressing. In a brief tweet that was shared by Tony Todd this morning, it was teased that Marvel Spider-Man 2 still seems to be in the process of finishing motion capture or mocap work. Todd, who is portraying Venom in the Spider-Man sequel, said that he was up early today so that he could attend a mocap session. He didn't specifically note that this mocap would be for Marvel Spider-Man 2, but a number of fans inferred that this is what he was referring to. Assuming that Marvel Spider-Man 2 is still doing mocap, that would make sense, especially with the game's 2023 release window. Mocap work tends to finish roughly a year or so before any game ends up launching. With this in mind, Todd's tweet today might tell us that a release for Spider-Man 2 won't happen in the early portion of next year. Likely shouldn't be expected. It's obviously worth stressing that we don't know this this new tweet from Todd is actually referring to his work on Spider-Man 2, since he never outright mentions it. But I think it's pretty safe to assume that that is exactly what he was trying to tell us. So good on you, Tony Todd. We appreciate any and all info we can get about Marvel Spider-Man 2, which I am super excited to dive into. And finally, we got an update on Fallen Order 2, which, according to Jeff Grubb, is going to be called Jedi. So it's going to be called Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And according to Jeff Grubb, we can specifically expect the sequel to Fallen Order 2, Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, in either February or March of 2023. So early 2023 2023 itself already looking pretty stacked. As he notes, Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Dead Space in early 2023 are already filling out next year's schedule. Expect Redfall and Starfield to do the same. So if you're keeping score at home, in 2023, potentially we're looking at Starfield and Redfall for Xbox, a Fallen Order sequel, Jedi Survivor, Dead Space, Marvel Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. already that looks like it's going to 2023 looks like it's going to be pretty crazy, unless L-Box of course drops the ball on their exclusives. But even still, if you're a fan of Star Wars and superheroes, that's going to be pretty lit. I mean, Jedi Fallen Order, one of my favorite games of all time. Fallen Order sequel, I'm all over it. And of course, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and Spider-Man 2 were already before at the top of my list for most anticipated games. So we're going to be eating good in 2023. that's a lot of must grabs. It looks like it's going to have something for everybody. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Unfortunately, in terms of Marvel's Avengers, we had the opposite of news, as usual, which I ended up having a little bit of a rant about on my live stream. Once again, the only information we got about Marvel's Avengers this week was about skins, new skins. We got Marvel Studios Avengers Infinity War Thor, the look where he had the eye patch. This was, of course, the look he had right before before he ended up becoming, before he ended up wielding Stormbreaker. He had the eye patch, and then he was rescued by the Guardians. Then he, of course, got the artificial eye from Rocket and ended up getting Stormbreaker and rocking out with a cape. But this is essentially all Marvel's Avengers had to offer for us. Nothing but more skins. And this is particularly important to note because we are almost at the we're getting close to the end of May. We have 2 weeks. We have technically 3 weeks left until June. There are 2 weeks left in May. The first week of June is technically has the last day of May. So it looks like it's very possible that patch 2.4 is not going to come out until May 31st, which would mean that unless Crystal Dynamics does something in the next 2 weeks, they're going to have already gone back on their promise of more communication after they canceled the roadmap. So definitely disappointing there. I'm hoping they do something, but they are definitely running out of time. No update on Wolverine, unfortunately. That game is obviously still a ways away. The last update we had was about mocap. So Wolverine seems to be entering the mocap stage as well. Or already in the mocap stage. And I'm not expecting that game until 2024. Fallen Order is amazing. Can't wait for Jedi Survivor. Absolutely. What's up, Bill? Imagine giving money to a game that doesn't give back to you. That has been the struggle. Black Myth Wukong may come out next year. That would be pretty good. I haven't heard anything about Black Myth Wukong in a while, but they did have that extensive gameplay demo, so I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. The day before, also 2023. Oh, yeah. What's up? What's up, Ant? Avengers got 2 weeks of May to say something in the next patch. I hope they take advantage of it. Because when they announced patch 2.4 and 2.5, they said we're going to have blogs, we're going to have live streams, all telling you about it, and they haven't done any of that. So they're going to have to do something. Do you believe these cameo rumors? Over 3 hours cut from Doctor Strange. The most I heard was that about 35 minutes was a cut from Multiverse of Madness. I'm assuming some of those were cameos. Shame some of those games will be delayed just to avoid sales competition. What's up, King J? We covered Spider-Man 2. The actor who's going to be doing Venom is doing mocap work as we speak. I don't know how many of the games will be delayed to avoid sales competition because we don't have updates exactly on when they're coming out for the most part. What's up, Almighty Bruce? You're bummed about Starfield? A lot of L-Box players are. Starfield was supposed to be their big splash after and looks like you're gonna have to wait. Any game launching at the same time as Spider-Man 2 is brave. Facts. I'm doing good. How are you doing? So they cut Earth 616 Mordo being killed from the movie. Also, really annoying that I know a lot of comic book fans are really annoyed that they're calling the Marvel universe in the 616, which the Marvel MCU universe 616, the main one we know, it is not 616 at all. That is not the 616 timeline. The 616 timeline is the comic books, but yeah, I believe Mordo was in the trailer, but they cut the part where he confronted Scarlet Witch. You're worried about those games? I would be worried about Starfield for sure. I feel like I'm getting big Cyberpunk 2077 vibes from Starfield. If I'm being honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that game launches in a very bad state. That's just a feeling I have. Something's going on with the studios over on Xbox. I don't know why, but I'm hearing, they're having a lot of problems with development. The Perfect Dark situation kind of really highlights that. You create this studio specifically to work on this game, and then everybody starts leaving. Like, not a good sign. What's up, Laquan? Well, I think is next for Wanda. Wanda probably isn't popping up again until Secret Wars. Maybe people want, or the Agatha Harkness TV show on Disney Plus. Many people wanted to have Earth 616 for comics and separate the universe of the movies. In fact, they did it in the beginning of the MCU, but just scrapped the idea. Yeah, or they forgot. It's part of the problem with how big the Marvel Cinematic Universe has gotten, is that they keep bringing on different guest writers and and directors and everything, and they aren't keeping everything straight or cohesive. What I think of Doctor Strange 2, the initial review I wrote, I thought it was solid in a solid but flawed movie. I think that most Marvel fans will enjoy it, but if you're more more selective and picky about your movies, you're gonna immediately notice a lot of flaws with it, and it's probably not a movie that's going to get better upon second viewing. The pacing is great. A lot of pacing is too much, but it is a lot of action all the way through. But and the visuals, of course, are pretty amazing, but it is held down by a pretty mediocre script and too many notes from the studio. As you could tell by the end, the movie is called a Kevin Feige production, which tells you that Kevin Feige had his thumb on the entire project and really hindered Sam Raimi's ability to kind of do his thing. So personally, I want to see a Raimi cut of Multiverse of Madness because I think it'll be a lot better than what we saw. Wanda is definitely. I mean, it really doesn't matter if Wanda's alive or dead. They gave us a pretty clear sign that she's coming back because after she got crushed, we saw a flash of chaos energy. So it's likely that she's either survived that or they're going to bring her back because the MCU already established that death doesn't actually matter between all the things they introduced, and Elizabeth Olsen signed in an extension with Marvel, so she's going to be around for quite a while in one way or another. What's up with Black King? That PS5 going to be in your hands before Spider-Man 2 comes out. Hopefully they said stock won't really be eligible until 2024. Like Schrodinger Rwanda. Do you think should be a hero now or anti-hero? Well, they were already trying to make her seem like a hero, even while or misunderstood, even while she was a villain, even while she was obviously being a villain. And that's not going to change. They're probably going to take the events of Multiverse of Madness, and the next time we see her, make that mean, oh, all is forgiven, it's all good, you're a hero now. But my hopes for Black Panther 2 is that it's not terrible. Gotham Knights next gen exclusive, can't wait. They established that death doesn't matter and have 2 books that let someone do whatever they need. Great storytelling. And indeed. Do you think she'll find out the origin of her kids? She knows the origin of her kids. She made them up with magic. And then and in other universes, she presumably had a baby daddy. What did I think about the Illuminati? I think they completely wasted the Illuminati. As I expected they would. What's up, Maximum Venom? No Mephisto. No, they already ruined that chance. The writer of WandaVision does not read comic books at all. And she admitted that she didn't even know who Mephisto was until they were already into the process. And she didn't even want to have a villain in WandaVision at all. So any hope you're going to have of Mephisto is completely out of the window because Kevin Feige and Marvel don't care about the comic books. They don't, particularly care about great storytelling either. They're just bringing people on that don't have any familiarity with the source material and just kind of want to do whatever they want to do. So as long as Kevin Feige tells them something, that's pretty much what they want, unfortunately. Great one-on-one with Doom Killer last night. Thank you. Appreciate that. Definitely go check out Doom Killer's channel. Yeah, she didn't even read the comments, bro. I was done right after that. I was like, okay, cool. But I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you everyone for coming through. I'll be working on the timestamps, so anyone that missed any news stories can catch this on the VOD. I'll see the members at 1 o'clock for the members only gaming session. Should be a lot of fun. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out.